My name is Vijay Thakare. I am a Bank Nifty options trader, buyer actually. So today I'm going to talk about a very, what you can say, a ignored topic or a sensitive topic, or you could say that it is a topic that everyone wants to hide, or maybe not talk about it in open. We don't want to do that, right? Why? Because it is about psychology. By no means I am not a psychologist, but as a trader, I understand what a trader's psychology can be and what a trader's mindset is. Okay? So today, what I'm trying to share or what I'm trying to do is that let's peel off all the psychology or whatever is inside us, whatever stops us from being successful, whatever stops us from being positive. Let's get those layers out of the picture, okay? And let's be positive and let's think about trading in a different way, okay? So, we see so many traders, millions of traders, but only 5% or maybe maximum 10% of them are successful and the rest are not. So, either it is very difficult or either it is so simple that not many people are able to do it. Two things, right? So let's find it out. This session I want everyone to be very interactive because there are a lot of questions that I'm going to ask. Not about me, not about you, but about yourself. What is inside you? Okay? All the questions are there going to be what is inside you and how to get them out of your thoughts and present it in a positive way. What is psychology? Psychology is the science of mind and behavior. Psychology includes the study of conscious and unconscious phenomena as well as feelings and thought. It is an academic discipline of immense scope. Psychology seeks an understanding. So this is the description about psychology. But what is a trader psychology? Why trading becomes so difficult for 90% and why trading becomes so simple or maybe flawless, you could call it, for the rest of the 10%. Why is it so? Perfect. So let's start with that. In short, psychology is all about our mind and behavior. How we behave, how we react to situations. That is all it's all about, right? So what psychology emphasizes on is how we behave, why we behave in a particular way, and under what conditions or circumstances that we behave, right? So there are two factors. Why we behave differently or why we behave irrationally is because there is two things, fear and greed. That is the most dominant things, right? So how to get them out of the picture or how to control them? That is what we'll try to find out. But before that, we need to ask some questions to ourselves. Now what are the questions? First question I want to ask everyone is, how many of you are net profitable traders? How many are net profitable traders here? Wow, that's great. That's amazing. No. First step is how many are net profitable traders because 90% are not. So that's why this question is more important. After that, percentages, sky is the limit. But first, there are online people also, so I would ask them also the same questions. You ask yourself also the same questions. So let's say out of, we have 100 people, 40% or 30% are profitable and 70% are not, okay? Then the people who are not, Have you asked have you asked yourself this question? Have you ever tried to find out the reason for your loss? How many of you tried to find out, why did I lose today? What was the reason? Yeah? Anyone? Anticipation and hope, okay, and emotions, perfect, okay. Then when in loss, have you thought about how we feel? Did you analyze what is the feeling that comes out when you are, in a loss? Can someone tell me what are the feelings that comes, or there are many people who call me and tell me I'm feeling suicidal, I'm feeling in depression, or somebody is feeling like he's lost the entire world. These are the feelings you get, right? Many people who have lost their savings or lost a lot of capital, these are the feelings that you get. So before we go into deep analysis, the first question we have to ask is, whatever feelings we have, can we control them? Can we analyze them? And can we react better to those situations? We can, right? Isn't it? We can. We can react better. But what happens is, while trading, we are in a different tangent. We are in a different world altogether. It's like a trance is going on, and you are in that trance, isn't it? You are dancing to the tunes of the market, and and once the market is over, you feel depressed. अरे यार ये क्या हो गया? सारा कैपिटल चला गया, मेरे को तो पता भी नहीं चला. और बाद में जब रात में चार्ट देखते तो बोलता अरे ये तो इतना इजी मार्केट था, अब क्या हो गया? मैंने पैसे कैसे गलाए? Has anyone felt that? Right? You feel that, right? So, the losses, all these emotions, the fear, the greed, the emotions of a happiness. One trade you get very happy. One trade you get, you go into loss. These all, thoughts. Sometimes when you are in loss, it brings you a very negative thoughts in your mind, right? So, have you tried to find a solution to these negative thoughts? Can anyone tell me, if somebody is in loss, in a depression, have you worked on the solutions? Or have you thought about how to, get these negative thoughts? Yeah. Yeah, that is a one way. That is good. That asking yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Perfect. So that can be another thing that, you have to change your perspective, or maybe you change the way you look at the markets. These can be a couple of things, right? So, as you guys give these answers that, you can change your perspective, you can think positive, no problems. We will definitely think about that. But before that, the way we have a process, right? The way we have a process of trading, people who are systematic traders, people who are successful traders, they have set a process, right? So let's set up a process to erode these negative thoughts. Now you'll say, what do you mean by that? ये कैसे possible है? इसके लिए कोई process थोड़ी होता है? हो सकता है क्या? नहीं ना? क्यों नहीं हो सकता? So how do we clear our mind from these negative thoughts? By reflecting on ourselves from childhood till now. And everything that you do, correlate everything that you do in trading, correlate that with what has happened to you in your life. Now you'll say, this is very complicated. And how will this help me in trading? For example, somebody who was very good at video games, he can be a successful scalper. Isn't it? So that is correlating with trading. That is one instance. So let's try to find out how we as individuals can set up a process and can set up a good way to have a good psychological balance while trading. Okay? Before that, we all are carrying a baggage. While trading, people who are in losses, they are always carrying a baggage. What is that biggest baggage? I am in loss. How do I tell it to my family? Can I tell it to my family? Why? Because see, showing green M2Ms is very good. Isn't it? Showing green M2Ms, showing your success is very easy. पोस्ट कर दो, लोगों को अनाउंस कर दो, बता दो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, सब खुश होंगे, ताली बजाएंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट हाउ डू यू टेल योर फेलियर्स टू पीपल? कैन वी? हाउ मेनी कैन डेयर टू टेल देयर फेलियर्स to their family members, to their friends, in this social world where everything is judged on merits, everything is judged on your success? How can you do that? लोग क्या कहेंगे? सबसे बड़ा सवाल. बट कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. Okay? So, before we go ahead, what we must do is, we must peel off the layers of our life like an onion. Every skin that you put out from the onion, there is a drop of, water that comes up from your eye, right? But once the onion is peeled off, do you feel better? You feel better, right? Yes, everyone? You feel better? So why not do that first? So before going into trading, why not try to find yourself first? What do I mean by find yourself? You've come to a business, you have come to a world where there is mass psychology, right? Everyone has a different view about markets, but many people are making money, many people are losing also. So in this crowded world, how do you find yourself? By asking the right questions to yourself. What are the questions you want to ask yourself? What type of a person are you? I want everyone to close your eyes for 2 minutes. I will ask you those questions. You answer it to yourself. Okay, so I want you to ask yourself, what type of person are you? First ask yourself, what kind of a person are you? After that, ask yourself, how was your childhood like? Was it comfortable? Was it difficult? Was it happy? Was it not happy? Okay? Then, you have, everyone is above 18. So, think about this. In all the years that you have gone through, how have you reacted to situations, positive situations and negative situations? How have you reacted to those situations? Right? After that, ask yourself, what is your biggest fear? Now this, I want everyone to participate. What is your biggest fear? Marriage? Okay, no problem, yes. Failure? Okay. More? Loss? Okay. Then? Okay, that's a good one. More, please. Deaths, right? So, दोनों भी हो सकते हैं. शादी में होना ना होना वो भी बिगेस्ट फियर है. Okay, now these are the biggest fears. Out of all the people who have answered, their biggest fear is failure, right? Then loss. These are the most biggest fears. And then debt. So tell me one thing, when you already have these fears in front of you, how will you trade? How will you trade? Why? Because when you start trading, maybe you have gained some knowledge and you've started trading. Okay? When you see the negative M2M, what is it going to trigger? What is the negative M2M going to trigger? Anxiety, more, and depression. Stop loss so theek hai. More, please. Fear of losing capital. More. Loss of confidence. Sorry? Taking big positions. Okay. So, you are already going to do something, or you are already seeing something that you fear the most. Right? So, how will you trade? So, to be a better person or to be better at trading, you will have to ask more questions. These are failures that we asked. These are the negative questions that we asked. Now what we need to do is, we have to ask positive questions to ourselves. What are the positive questions we have to ask? What activities have you excelled in your life, in your childhood and at present? Okay? The second question you have to ask is, what areas in their life have you outperformed in? Everyone has a specialty, right? Everyone has a good skill, some or the other. It can be reading, it can be, walking, it can be jogging. You do something better, isn't it? It's not that a person cannot do anything. Even a person who is specially abled, he also has good qualities. He also has specialties that no one has, right? So, you have to ask yourself these questions. Why these positive questions are important is because the way you ask yourself failures, the same way when you ask yourself, how did I overcome these failures? Or what can I do to overcome these failures? So, for that, you have to ask these questions for yourself. How much rejection or failure I have faced in my life? It can be anything. Anything, right? Can anyone tell me what is the rejection or what is the failure they have faced in life? One failure you tell me about yourself. I have thousands, but I can tell you later once I know about you. Please. Yeah. Okay. 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 Perfect. Great. Awesome. Superb. Superb. Any more? Please share your feelings. This is about peeling yourself off so that you can reduce the baggage that you're carrying. Failing to qualify for a good institution. Okay, great. Okay, failed as option buyer. That's a good one. Okay. Any more? Please, come on. Sorry? Okay. Okay. Good. Okay.
Lakhs of rupees.
Wow. Okay. So, when you had the biggest failure or the biggest rejection, how did you try to overcome it? Did you try to overcome it? First, you have to ask. If not, then how will you try to overcome it? The way, sir, your good name? Amit. The way Amit already shared that he was bankrupt in 2007, then he analyzed himself, then with all the vigor and all the passion, he came back and now he's stable. So this is the comeback that we want. This is the comeback that everyone has to think of. Isn't it? Because If we continue thinking about failures, if we continue thinking about our negative aspects, or if you continue thinking about, Arey yaar, I want to suicide. Why, boss? Don't you have a family? Don't you have kids? Is there not a different option? There is always a good option, right? Always. Many people, I've been teaching almost more than 1,000 people, and at least I have 10 calls where people have decided that, they want to suicide. I was like, why can't there be a better option than that? There has to be, right? Can I speak something in between? Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Amit. I'll tell you one of my incidents is my share. In 2007, I became bankrupt. I just confessed it. And I did not know what I should be doing then. So I went back, spoke to my family. My parents supported, my wife supported, my uncle, my father-in-law, everybody supported. I borrowed money, paid off all the dues, and started off. I am a chartered accountant by profession, qualified in 1997. And slowly I started working. 2013, when the elections came, or 14, when Modi government came, I decided I'll start trading again. I put in a capital, small capital, multiplied it. The way Shreyas shared, he started his journey from 10 lakh rupees. Somewhere around that, I started my journey from 25 lakhs, multiplied 2 times, multiplied 4 times, 6 times, 8 times, year and year. Pulled out some money, bought an asset, multiplied again, pulled out some money, bought an asset, multiplied again. So, if there is a problem, to overcome the problem, first accept the problem, stop where you are, understand how exactly that can be solved, and then over the years, give a time for yourself as to how exactly you're going to solve the problem. And over the years, try to fight back with whatever possible losses that you can bear. I could bear 25 lakhs by borrowing from the bank. I started from the 25 lakhs. It doubled to 50, it doubled to 1, it doubled to 2, it doubled to 4, it doubled to 6, it doubled to 8. I'm not joking, boy, I'm a live example. I today carry big positions, but that does not mean everybody should do it. Start from somewhere, analyze, make a strategy. I asked Shreyas today, did you have a strategy when you started for 10 lakh rupees? Right? He had some strategy, but he refined the strategy. I am also doing the same thing. I'm here to learn. Learn, plan, and then execute. And try to see how you're growing. If you're not growing, there is some problem. Try to correct that problem. Yep. All the best to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, perfectly what I wanted to, convey to everyone is that if you have a problem, first talk to yourself about the problem. Be brutally honest to yourself. कि मैं गलत हूं तो गलत हूं, ठीक है, बट उसको सही कैसे करूं पहले ये मुझे पूछना है. गलत हो गया, shit happens, it's okay. But now what? What is the next plan? What do I need to do? So, what I did was, this is how all the questions that I asked myself. At the time I was in a depression. I had money, little bit of it, but yeah, I had money that I could survive on. But then mental health was not there. I used to run a BPO for 10 years. And to a point I came where my doctor told me that, either you have to leave your business or either you have to leave the world. He was like, choose one. I was like, obviously I have a family, so I have to leave the business. But then I didn't have an option where I can go for. I was trading in markets, but I was not successful. And there was a time, Shiva knows, I asked him, can I make 2,000 rupees every day? Can I make 2,000 rupees every day? I asked him. And when I went to his offline session and when I saw him make 1 lakh rupees, I was like, if he can make it, why I cannot do it? I can also do it, why not? So let's go to the drawing board. Let's figure out. Let's analyze ourselves first. Let's find out what kind of a person I am. Okay? Let's take off all the baggage that we have and let's come out fresh and work on and focus on one thing. And now things are different. So, The point I'm trying to make is, or the, the psychology or what I'm trying to share is, always be positive, man. Always be positive. If you're positive, if you're going for it, you will be successful. Maybe tomorrow, day after, 10 days, 50 days, 1 month, 3 years, but you will be. Don't lose hope. Don't just give out. Try to learn, try to understand. If we are lacking somewhere, let's work on it. Let's work on it. God has given us a precious life. Let's work on it. Trading is simple. If it's done simple, or if it's done in a way, then it's simple. If you have set of rules, if you have set of discipline, if you have set of risk management, it is easier. It is not rocket science. And trading is a sea or ocean. It's a huge ocean. What do you need? A glass of water from it. To survive or to have a good life, what you need? A glass of water. So, find out a niche. In the entire ocean, find out a niche that you are comfortable with. Just take your glass of water and leave, boss. Come next day again, take your glass of water, leave. That's all we have to do. But the problem is, we glorify it so much, or it's glorified so much, it's complicated so much. कि नहीं ये भी देखना पड़ता है, वो भी करना पड़ता है, ऐसा भी होता है, वैसा भी होता है. नहीं boss. If we stick to one thing, focus on one thing, then it is possible. If I can do it, I am a 10th passed. 10वीं पास हुआ यार मैं कर सकता तो हर एक कर सकता है. यहाँ पे तो ब्रिलियंट माइंड्स है, क्यों नहीं कर सकते? Possible, right? So, this is what I'm trying to convey. The fear of every trader, negative M2M. Every trader fears it. Negative M2M. How to overcome it? उसका कोई इलाज तो है नहीं. एक बार नेगेटिव हो गया तो हो गया. अब क्या करें? We have some set of rules, what we can do. But psychologically, how are you going to overcome? So, all the mental strength or all the power that you have to gain to be, to be positive, that will come from what you have done from your childhood. Always try to gain energy from whatever achievements you have done, from whatever good things you have done. So how I did was that I ran a BPO business successfully for 10 years. So I was like, if you started a BPO business from scratch and you took it to a level, then why can't you do it in trading? Trading is a business, right? It's a business for everyone. It's not a gambling den. It's a business. It's a business of businesses. So, let's do that. Let's focus on it. Now, negative M2M is something that everyone fears. Why? Because everyone is used to seeing positive M2M. तो नेगेटिव कैसे देखेंगे? नेगेटिव देखा तो लोग हंसेंगे ना, है कि नहीं? नेगेटिव M2M अगर डाल दिया तो लोग हंसेंगे. अरे पागल है, इसको कुछ नहीं आता, है कि नहीं? ऐसे होता ना, इसको कुछ नहीं आता. अरे इतना लॉस क्यों किया तूने? क्या कर रहा था तूने? Immediately your friends will teach you. अरे ऐसा नहीं, वैसा करने का, ये नहीं, वो करने का, इधर स्टॉप लॉस लगाने का, उधर ये करने का, वो करने. But you know yourself what you did. So when I started my YouTube channel and I started posting negative M2Ms also, videos of negative M2M, how I made negative M2Ms, then I used to get a lot of comments, अरे कुछ नहीं आता देखो, ट्रेडिंग मटका खेलता है तू. मटका खेलता है तू, ये तो तू गैम्बलिंग कर रहा है, तेरे को कुछ नहीं आता है. ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट जब पॉजिटिव M2M डालता हूं तो अरे हाँ, ये क्या भारी स्ट्रैटेजी, एक नंबर. इतना फास्ट कैसे स्कैल्पिंग करता है, ये कैसे? तो देयर आर टू सेट्स ऑफ पीपल, isn't it? So what I'm trying to convey again is, don't listen to the noise that is outside. If you know your process is right, if you know your focus is right, there are going to be negative days, right? In our life also, we go through so many challenges. Our life curve is not straight, right? When the your heartbeat is also there. It's up and down, right? Then how can be your M2M or how can be your equity curve just like a straight line? उसमें क्या मजा है? रोज उठो, प्रॉफिट कमाओ, सो जाओ, उसमें क्या मजा है कि नहीं? उससे क्या मिलेगा? जब नेगेटिव से पॉजिटिव आएंगे उसमें तो सबसे ज्यादा मजा है, isn't it? So how to overcome a negative MTM is, it's all about your psychology. How you take up that negative MTM. Do you take it as a challenge or do you take it as a depression thing? अरे यार लॉस हो गया, अब क्या करूं? अरे करूं क्या करूं? जा चार्ट में देख, go to your trading book. I always tell my students that your trade log is the best book you can ever read about yourself or about trading. Why? The knowledge or the amount of information that is going to give it to you about yourself, that is what you have to understand. Every day, try to trade. You try to trade? Then how many of you do, save your trade logs and analyze them? How many? Sometimes that will be the day you made profits, isn't it? But what about the day you made loss? That is the day you will learn, and that is the day you don't want to do it. Why? Because again, that cliche, fear. खुद से फेस करने को डर लगता है ना, isn't it? खुद से फेस करने को डर लगता है, बट जिस दिन वो डर जाएगा उसी दिन तुम सक्सेसफुल ट्रेडर बन पाओगे. क्यों? क्योंकि तुम्हारे माइंड में से वो डर निकल जाएगा. अरे मैं मेरे आईने के सामने कैसे जाऊं, मैंने तो आज लॉस किया है, isn't it? बट जिस दिन प्रॉफिट करते हो उस दिन हाँ अच्छे से थोड़ा कंगवा विंगवा करेंगे और कुछ क्रीम वगैरह लगाएंगे, है कि नहीं? बट जिस दिन लॉस करोगे उस दिन खुद को ही लगेगा नहीं नहीं जाने दे, आज कुछ नहीं करते. Happens, right? Happens with everyone. But how do we overcome that? These are the things that you have to ask yourself. Keep on asking, keep on staying positive. That is what is psychology about. That is what trading is about. So, many people while trading, as you said that, you focus on, you feel jittery, your hands start shaking, right? Then you don't look at the charts. Once you are in a trade and you go to a negative M2M, are you going to see the charts? Everything will fade out. Everything will fade out. कुछ नहीं दिखेगा. एग्जिट मारो, पहले भागो, है कि नहीं? पहले एग्जिट मारना सीखेंगे, बाद में वो चार्ट देखेंगे, बाद में अरे यार ये अभी मिस हो गया, अभी वापस कैसे एंट्री लूं, अब क्या करूं? तो instead of doing that, what I started doing was, I started realizing that, once after to a point 10,000 20,000 M2M was fine, but when it came into lakhs, that is when things became difficult, very difficult. Why? Because 1 lakh का fluctuation ऊपर नीचे देखना, it's a huge challenge. It's a big challenge. Negative, positive is fine. You can be happy, but negative, looking at negative MTMs, you'll never be happy. So what I started doing was, I started calculating everything in points. I don't look at my MTM. वो 5 लाख हो या 50,000 हो या 500 रुपए हो, I am not going to look at my M2M. I am taking it out of the picture. What I am focused on is just the points. That's it. So before I am taking a trade, I am going to focus on the points. If I have taken a trade, let's say 100 quantity, 4 lots, I bought it at 385. Before taking the trade, I have a stop loss in my mind that does 365 आ जाएगा, मैं भाग जाऊंगा, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. वापस ट्रेड आएगा तो वापस लूंगा, ब्रोकरेज ज्यादा दूंगा, ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट उस वक्त at that time I need to get out of that trade. Why? Because it is not working for me. And what this will do is that once you define a stop loss in your mind and in your habit, once you define that, then it will help you manage your risk automatically. It will help you manage your risk automatically. Many people say that option buying is बहुत difficult. You define a different scale. Option buying तो possible ही नहीं है, या फिर उसमें consistency नहीं है, पैसा नहीं कमा सकते. But is that a problem with option buying, or is that a problem with us? Is that a problem with the option buying as a complete option buyer, or is that a problem with us? Obviously, it's a problem with us. Everything is inside. We just have to take it out and face it and show it in front of us. That's why I say, for a trader to be successful, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. अगर तुम खुद अपने आप से झूठ बोलोगे तो बॉस नहीं होगा, सच में नहीं होगा. क्यों? Because you are biased towards yourself. If you are not biased with yourself, that is where your success lies. How? For example, मैंने कोई ट्रेड ले लिया, मैंने दोस्त को बताया अरे ऐसा ऐसा हुआ था, अभी नेगेटिव गया, फिर वो तुमको कुछ अलग ज्ञान देगा कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा करना था. तुम बोलोगे नहीं अरे ये तो जाने वाला था. So you are trying to be different. He is trying to give you advice, he is trying to give you good advice, but still you will not agree with it. कि नहीं ये तो मार्केट तो जाना ही था, नीचे जाना था, ऊपर कैसे चला गया पता नहीं. But when you have a stop loss, or when you have a predefined risk management in your head, in your calculation, that is when you will be able to control. Many people ask the question that 10 दिन में ऑप्शन बाइंग करता हूं, 7 दिन प्रॉफिट कमाता हूं, 3 दिन में 7 दिन का भी प्रॉफिट करा देता हूं. क्यों भैया, क्यों करना ऐसा? तो for that also you have to have a predefined risk management. So whatever we did, let's summarize, and let's summarize how we can overcome all our challenges. Okay? The first thing is, ask yourself the questions discussed earlier and find out the root cause of the problems. So for example, many people said that मेरा debt का problem है, financial problem है, fear है, loss है, सब कुछ है. ये सारी चीजों के लिए, for all these things, what is the one optimal solution you can find out? What is the one optimal solution you can find out? Making money? Simple and plain question and answer. Making money, right? If you are making consistent money, सारे problem गायब. Okay? तो solution तो मिल गया. Solution तो मिल गया. हमको पता है कि हमको trading ही करनी है. Solution मिल गया, trading ही करनी है. फिर क्या? आगे क्या? Then learn to accept rejection. पहले तो लॉस लेना सीख लो कि हाँ लॉस तो होगा ही, और होगा तो लिमिटेड रखना है, बस इतना ही ध्यान रखना है. राइट? तो ओनली थिंग यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन इज टू लिमिट योर लॉस. आफ्टर दैट build resilience and develop patience. How do you develop patience? मार्केट तो इतना फ्लक्चुएट होता रहता है, ऊपर नीचे जाता है. कल तो 1300 पॉइंट भी गया था बैंक निफ्टी. तो हाउ डू यू डेवलप पेशेंस? As we discussed earlier, focus only and only on the points. Don't look at your M2M at all. Do not look at your M2M at all. Focus on the points that you want to capture, and focus on the charts. Focus on the candle formations. Focus on what you have been taught or what you have learned. Focus on that instead of looking at the money aspect and other aspect. M2M, automatically you're going to know that it's going to be positive once you know what the buy price was. तुमने 385 को बाय किया है, 405 आ गया, तो तुमको ऑलरेडी पता है कि वो प्रॉफिट में ही है. Then don't look at the M2M और don't start thinking about कि हाँ अब तो बहुत प्रॉफिट, बहुत पैसा होगा, बहुत पैसा होगा. Do not think about that. Think about what is the chart showing you, from what level it is going to what level, right? Focus on those things. I know it is going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult. But what you're going to do is practice, practice and practice. Everyone, whoever, all the successful traders, Shiva, Vishal Mehta, Sharik, everyone, Shreyas, you ask them what they do. They focus on the process. They have a set rule in their mind. Ki, yes, I want to do this. This is my niche. This is what I'm going to do. If my setup comes, I take it. If it doesn't come, I'm out of it. I don't want to do it. It's okay. Market is not going anywhere. Market is here. We are also here. आज नहीं तो कल तो आएगा. कल नहीं तो परसों तो आएगा. तो the best part is trying to tell yourself, don't get into FOMO. Don't get into FOMO. There is going to be an opportunity again. Tell me one thing. How much money you want to make on a daily basis? How much money you want to make on a daily basis? Tell me. Somebody can please tell me. 1 lakh? नहीं, rupees, हाँ, rupees term में बताओ. Rupees term, please. What is the amount that you will feel कि हाँ रोज का अगर 10,000 रुपए आ गए तो ठीक है. 10,000 ठीक है? Okay? Everyone, 10,000 ठीक है? समझो कैपिटल बड़ा है, जैसे भाई साहब का होगा 1 करोड़, अगर ऐसा होगा तो वो छोड़ देते, 10 लाख कैपिटल है, राइट? What we want to make is 10,000 rupees. Okay? You know what you want to do. You know how much is your capital. Now what is the next step? You have to wait patiently for your right opportunity. तुमको पता setup है. Okay? Now let's break down this 10,000 into points. For example, with 10 lakh, as per my risk management, I will only deploy 10% of my capital. That is 1 lakh rupees. Okay? So for a strike price which is 250. Okay? 250. So how much lots? I take 10 lots. Right? No, not 10 lots. 4 lots. 100 quantity. Okay? So how much do I need to make this 10,000 rupees? How many points do I need? Point wise, how many points do I need? 50 points. 250 points? Huh. 10,000, yeah. So let's change it a little. 10,000 तो नहीं होगा. 10,000 तो नहीं हो सकता ना. 1 लाख में 10,000 कैसे होगा? हाँ, that is 10%. We'll just think about 2%. 2,000 रुपए. Right? That you can multiply later. But with 1 lakh capital, you want to make 2%, 2,000 rupees. So in points terms, how many points we need now? 20 points. 100 quantity लेनी है, सिर्फ 20 points चाहिए. So this is how I figured out things. कि I just need 20 points from Bank Nifty every day. Bank Nifty moves 200 points every day. So out of all this, I just need 20 points. फिर मैं इतना क्यों भागदौड़ करूं? इतना क्यों दिमाग ये करूं? कि अरे भागो भागो, ये करो वो करो, इधर भी देखो उधर भी देखो, क्रैश हुआ क्या, डाउ देखो, सब कुछ देखो. क्यों करना है ऐसा? चाहिए 20 पॉइंट्स मार्केट में से पूरे, उसमें से हम सेटिस्फाई भी होने वाले हैं, फिर भी इतनी भागदौड़ क्यों करने की? तो दिस इज हाउ आई डिसाइडेड दैट ओके, आई वांट टू मेक 1 लाख रुपीज, 1 लाख रुपीज अ डे. I want to deploy 10 lakh rupees capital. So to make that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take 2,500 quantities. How many points I need? 40. I can take this 40 points into 4 trades, or I can take it into 1 trade also. Simple. सब बोलेंगे ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. ऐसे ही होता है ना भाई. 10 पॉइंट चाहिए हर एक ट्रेड में से. 4 ट्रेड लेने पूरे दिन में से, सिर्फ 4 सक्सेसफुल ट्रेड लेने 10 पॉइंट के. 10 पॉइंट है पॉसिबल? है पॉसिबल 10 पॉइंट लेना बैंक निफ्टी से? तो बस, व्हाई टू कॉम्प्लिकेट? तो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू फिगर आउट. यू हैव टू मेक अ डेली टारगेट, यू हैव टू मेक अ वीकली टारगेट, यू हैव टू मेक अ मंथली टारगेट. This is how we'll have to consolidate the problems, find the optimal solution, and then just work on it day in and day out. Right? It's that simple. Just work on it day in and day out, and then after that, scale up slowly, slowly. If you make 1 lakh rupees a day, you'll come in the top 10% of the people in India. Isn't it? और क्या चाहिए लाइफ में भाई? But solution भी है अपने पास. But day in or day out, we'll have to work on it. Every day, every hour, every minute, you'll have to focus on it. अरे सोचो यार, सिर्फ 6 घंटे काम करना है. 6 घंटे काम करना है, right? Usually when we're at job, when our boss is there, we work 12 hours, 15 hours, sometimes days also. And what do we get? Do we get more money for investing our time? No, right? But instead, invest that more time in your business. That is trading. And you'll do wonders. So, focus on your time, focus on what is required, okay? And always have a motto that never give up. Keep trying, keep practicing. This can be a small evolution of how I went through the stages. If you want, you can, it will be shared also to you. So, this is my small story about how I try to get into the markets and how I try to juggle two things. It's a human evolution, the same way we have to have our behavior evolution. So, the gist of everything, I mean, I would really thank Rekha ma'am and DJ for letting me do this. Why? Because all the people, everyone, you know, all the successful traders, they shared all their strategies. And I was able to tell the moral of the story. That is, you have to have a good behavior, you have to have optimal psychology, and you have to have that optimal focus. Now, all the great traders, what do they say? Mark Douglas says, when you genuinely accept the risk, you will be at peace with any outcome. So, the same thing that we discussed, कि अगर हमको पता है, हमको करना क्या है, हम कितना रिस्क ले सकते हैं, if you already decided that, then things become easier. So, first of all, before taking the trade, पहले डिसाइड कर लो कि मैं कितना खोना चाहता हूं. इफ दैट इज डिसाइडेड, देन बाकी तो प्रॉफिट है. अगर आ जाए वो ट्रेड अच्छा हो जाए तो रेस्ट इज प्रॉफिट. बट फर्स्ट डिसाइड हाउ मच विल आई लूज. ये मत डिसाइड करो हाँ ये लूंगा तो 10,000 रुपए आएंगे. डोंट डिसाइड दैट. फर्स्ट डिसाइड हाउ मच आई कैन लूज और हाउ मच आई एम रेडी टू लूज इन दैट ट्रेड. फर्स्ट डिसाइड दैट. इफ दैट इज डिसाइडेड, देन द रेस्ट इज easier. This is what Jesse Livermore says. It never was my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. Beautiful quote, huh? Again, beginners focus on analysis, but professionals operate in a 3-dimensional space. They are aware of trading psychology, their own feelings, and the mass psychology of the markets. So, psychology, I would say, is 80% part of trading. Trading is 20%. Because सबको तो चार्ट दिखता है, सबको तो वही प्राइस दिखती है, isn't it? Everyone sees the same price, everyone sees the same option, strike, सबको सेम दिखता है. बट फिर भी कुछ ही लोग प्रॉफिटेबल होते हैं, कुछ नहीं होते. तो that's why psychology, the way you approach your markets, or the way you look at the markets, is what is going to define you. This is the famous psychologist of traders, Brett Steenbarger. We'll never be perfect as traders. That's what keeps us ever learning, ever growing. Our challenge is use our shortcoming as inspiration, fueled continued improvement. With that, I sum up. Thank you so much. Thank you.